Good evening to all my young little friends out there. Just a second, let me just check if at all am I audible or not. Oh, yes, perfect. So I'm perfectly audible and I'm perfectly visible as well. And by the way, before I begin up with anything out there, first of all, wishing every one of you a very happy Onam and also Eid. So just let me share the particular video with all our dearest friends in the WhatsApp channel. Perfect. Hello. Hello, Malhar ji. Hello, Pavan. I am really good. How are you? Ma'am, I want to join BMS college, but I want to, so now I want to exit from KCET counseling or not. Yes, you can exit from KCET counseling. Boring. At 5:30, there will be a video that is going to come out. You can just watch that video. That video is going to give you clarity regarding everything that is needed for those of you who are participated in both KCET as well as UG NEET counseling, the combined counseling. Okay? B-Fest 11th September. Okay, so that means there is some Diksha student watching this particular video. So happy to see you over here. Okay, so my dear children, good evening. I hope everyone is doing super good. So today we are going to finish up our chapter, that is Principles of Inheritance and Variation, with lots of PYQs from KCET. But before I go ahead with that, just keeping my promise, in the previous session I was not able to complete a small topic that is chromosomal disorders. We're just going to complete that, and post that we are going to solve all the questions. Okay, so is that okay? Pavan, yes ma'am, perfect. So Malhar, I am PCMC student. Okay, what is a PCMC student doing over here? Anyways, so let's get in. I hope all my machas and machis are ready. The first thing that we're going to discuss over here is my 3 videos. I have done 3 videos on ACE in the ACE KCET series, the live videos which are there for Principles of Inheritance and Variation. In the thumbnail, what is being what is being taught is clearly written over here. Please make sure you go watch that. Otherwise, you also had the one shot to watch. Okay. Now talking about the chromosomal disorders. So when do we say that people get chromosomal disorders, and when do we say, what do you mean by chromosomal disorders? Any idea? Pavan, any idea? Malhar is PCMC student, so there is no point in asking that question, but still. Any idea what do you mean by chromosomal disorders? We have studied about Mendelian disorders in the previous session. Today we're going to talk about chromosomal disorders. Boring. BAMS counseling, for that the seat matrix has to come, and it has not been received yet by KEA. I even checked through one video which was released 1 hour back. KEA said they have not released, got it yet. So when there is a loss or gain in chromosome number, that's when we say basically there's a chromosomal disorder. I meant like chromosomal abnormality. Perfect. So listen to me carefully. All of us, basically, we have a pair of chromosome. Okay, we have a pair of chromosome. How many only one pair is there? No. Similarly, we have almost 23 pairs of chromosome in our body. And if I count 23 pairs, a pair is made up of 2 chromosomes. So if I count the total number of chromosome, how many will be there? 23 into 2, basically I have 46 number of chromosome. All of them, they say that I cannot be lonely, I will be only together. Okay, I cannot be a lonely bird. So now they are together over here. This is how usually we have things. But certain times, what is going to happen is that instead of having 2 chromosomes over here, there might be just 1 chromosome, macha. Only 1 chromosome. Will that be fair? No, that's a problem, because this chromosome is what? It's your DNA which is being condensed. And DNA contains what? All the very important information for formation of proteins. Now those proteins are being missed over here, which is why we say that a person, if at all they do not have this chromosome, there's a loss of a chromosome, that is definitely going to show some effects, and we say it's a disorder that is going to be caused. Okay, just like Pavan said, because of a loss of chromosome this can happen, or it can also be a situation where you have two chromosome, but now show off, one extra chromosome is also up there. Now this extra chromosome will also have its effects, some problem will be caused. In that case also we say that a chromosomal disorder can be caused. Now apart from this, there's one more scenario that can happen. Apart from the loss and the gain of the chromosome, there's also a scenario where suppose the arm of the chromosome, you have two arms of the chromosome. Here is one, here is the another. Suppose you just have half of it, the other one is not there. This can also lead to what? Chromosomal disorders. Okay, so chromosomal disorders are being caused because of some either structural deformalities in the chromosome, or basically there is a loss or the gain of a chromosome, just like my dear Pawan told. Cool? Cool. Now is this clear? Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see two types of it. Okay, there are two types or the two reasons why chromosomal disorder can happen. The first one is aneuploidy, the second one is polyploidy. Okay, I will talk about this one first, then you tell me whether you have understood or not, then we'll go about polyploidy. Right. Now here, why does aneuploidy occur? Aneuploidy means what? The same thing that we discussed. It leads to, aneuploidy is the one that leads to either loss or the gain of the chromosome. Why do you think that occurs? It occurs because of failure of segregation of chromatids during cell division cycle, resulting in the gain or loss of the chromosome. So usually what happens is that, suppose over here, okay, this is how it looks. This is a chromatid, this is a sister chromatid. Okay, this is a chromatid, this is a sister chromatid that is there. Now, whenever I say that the cell is going to divide, just before that, the chromatids over here, they are going to be separated. They are going to be separated towards each side. Now, one side will be having one chromatid, another side will be having another chromatid. And this whole cell, suppose this was a big cell out there, this whole cell will be divided into two parts. The cell is going to divide it into two parts. Now, here, there is a problem that is causing at this particular point. There is no proper segregation or separation that is happening between the chromatids during the process of cell division, which is why what is going to happen? Suppose over here, both the chromosome went on this, they both went here only, none of them went there. So what will happen? Here you are going to get two of them. Here you are not going to have any of it. One cell will be there with one extra chromatid, one cell will be there with no chromatid at all. You get it? That can happen. That can happen. This is known as aneuploidy. This is what you call as aneuploidy. Why did it happen? Because of failure of segregation of chromatids during cell division cycle, resulting in either gain or basically loss. Here it is gain and here it's basically loss of the chromosome. Right? Is this clear to you? If it is clear, can you quickly give me a thumbs up? Now, when we see different scenarios, all the things are going to be better understood. So don't worry about it. And also, if you have any doubts, you can ask me right now. If it's clear, give me a thumbs up. If you have doubts, ask me. Yes, ma'am. Understood. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, the condition where you see that there's an additional copy of the chromosome, that condition is basically known as trisomy. Okay, we say it's trisomy. On the other hand, if at all there is a loss of a chromosome, we say that is monosomy. So, there is trisomy if at all you are getting an additional copy. There is monosomy if there is a loss of the chromosome out there. Now, what is polyploidy? First of all, this thing you write it somewhere in your head, not in your notes, in your head write it. Polyploidy is not found in animals, it is found in plants. So, P for polyploidy and P for plants. P for polyploidy and P for plants. Okay, why does it happen? So, here the scenario is going to be quite different. Here what happened is that, suppose this is a cell. Okay, this is a cell and the cell is like very excited for the division. So what did I do? The chromosomes over here, they got divided. First of all, they replicated. Okay, they increased the number. Now they have divided into two areas. Now the only thing which is left to do is this. The cell also has to divide. The cell has to divide. But you know what happened? The cell didn't divide. Okay, cytokinesis, cyto means cell division. Cytokinesis didn't take place over here. Now, in that scenario, what is going to happen? You were supposed to have only one set of chromosome per cell, but now you have an extra set altogether. A whole set is extra over here. This is what you call as polyploidy, and this is seen in the case of plants. This is not seen in our case. Okay, so here it was because of failure of segregation of chromatids, but here it's failure of cytokinesis, cell division. which is why you get a whole extra set of chromosome. Is this clear to you? Is polyploidy clear to you? If yes, give me thumbs up. If no, ask me doubts. Come on, come on. Ayyo, my net went. I'm not able to see your chats, guys. Just a second. Net has to come back. Come back. Yes, ma'am. Clear. Thank you so much. Perfect. So only Pawan is understanding things. Okay, what about other children who are watching this video? Is anyone watching this video? I hope, my dear children, you're giving your best. You're trying to understand. If you have any doubts, don't be shy. This is your Jasmine Ma'am. Ask me doubts. Okay, I'll definitely give you the answer if I know it. Cool? Yes? Okay. Now, since this is not happening in the case of human beings, that is us, let's not talk about it. Let's talk more about this particular scenario, that is aneuploidy. In aneuploidy, we have three diseases: Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, and Turner syndrome. This thing, if at all you have understood this thing, you can easily grab marks if any questions come from this particular topic. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to divide this whole screen into three parts. Okay, you are dividing with me. The first disorder that we have is Down's syndrome. Okay, what do you have? You have Down syndrome. So I'm gonna ask you things, and that is how we're gonna learn. Okay, the first thing that I'm asking you is, how many pairs of chromosome do we have in the human body? How many pairs of chromosome do we have? Everyone, come on. I'm not asking about the total number of chromosome. I'm just asking about the pairs of chromosome. How many pairs are there in our body? Waiting. 23 pair, ma'am. Okay, perfect. We have 23 pair, we know that. Fine. Now listen to me carefully. Suppose there is a person over here. Okay, suppose there is a person over here. His name is Puchu. In his case, the 21st pair of chromosome which is there, ideally, it should be looking like this. It should be looking like this: one chromosome, another chromosome, right? But apparently, there is one extra chromosome that is coming. One extra chromosome that is coming over here. In this particular scenario, because you have an extra chromosome, don't you think that could lead to some issues out there? Yes. And that is how Down syndrome is being caused. Now, is this condition trisomy or monosomy? Okay, Pawan has already given the answer. He says it's trisomy, ma'am. Exactly. This condition is going to be trisomy. Trisomy means extra chromosome is there. So I'll say this is caused because of trisomy of 21st chromosome. Trisomy of 21st chromosome. Now the confusion the children has is that, ma'am, how is it possible? So as I told you, probably when the parents were making gametes, now obviously they are not making gametes by themselves, it's naturally happening in their body. So if we talk about the gametes, okay, when you talk about the gametes, probably if a cell was there and you had two chromatids, apparently both of them had to separate and one should have gone in each of them. But here, because of the failure of segregation, they didn't separate. They're like, I want to go together only. In that particular case, what happened is that along with this chromosome also went into a gamete. What about the other gamete? The other gamete did not have anything. Now, what if this gamete fused with a normal gamete out there which had just one chromosome? Now, aren't you going to get 3 chromosomes out there? Yes, you will be getting 3 chromosomes out there, and that is exactly what has taken place over here. But the extra chromosome that you're talking about, rest everything is okay. But there is an extra chromosome in the 21st pair. The 21st pair did not segregate properly. That is why you have an extra chromosome up over here. Got it? This thing can happen to a male or a female. This thing can happen to a male or a female because both of us have 21st chromosome. It's the same thing. In you, in me, the 21st chromosome is going to be the same. Cool. Now, there is one very, very important thing that is there in your NCERT, and usually everyone loves to ask about it. That is karyotype. Basically, it's talking about the grouping or the number of the chromosomes which are there. Okay, so in general, what is the number of chromosome that we have? For that, I'll be taking an extra slide over here. In general, we have 46 chromosomes. 46 chromosomes. 44 of them. 44 of them, what are they? They are known as what? Autosomes. They are known as autosomes. Basically, autosomes are the ones which have nothing to do with the sex of an organism. They are going to, these chromosomes are there. These chromosomes are made up of DNA. The DNA has the genes, which is responsible for all the other characters of our body, but it does not determine the sex of our body. Okay, what about the 45th chromosome and the 46th chromosome? They are going to be sex chromosomes. Okay, what are they? They are broadly classified to be sex chromosomes. You also call them as allosomes. Sex chromosomes are also known as what? Allosomes. Over here they are known as autosomes. They are known as allosomes. So in me, the sex chromosome that I have over here is going to be XX. What about Pawan? Pawan is going to have XY because he is a male and I am a female. So this can differ. This can differ. So if you're talking about the number of chromosomes, it is 46, and as I said, this is how it goes. What if I talk in terms of pairs of chromosome? If I say pairs of chromosome, then we have 23 pair. 23 pair. Out of that, 22 of them. Okay, 22 pair are going to be autosomes. The 23rd pair which is there, the last one which is there, is going to be what? Allosomes. Are going to be allosomes. We have got a general idea about this. Have you understood this? If yes, give me thumbs up. If yes, give me thumbs up. If you know, if you have got to understand what I tried to talk over here, if that is clear, just give me a thumbs up. I'll go ahead. And by the way, everyone share the video with all your friends so that more children can come in. Yes, ma'am, understood. Perfect. Now listen to me. So when I talk about karyotyping, in my general body, if at all I do not have any disorder, any chromosomal disorders, I'll say I have 44 autosomes, which is represented like this. Now suppose I am a female, then in that case 44 autosomes plus XX because I am a female. Okay, this is for Jasmine. That is me. Okay, what about Pawan? For Pawan, he also has 44 autosomes. 44 autosomes, normal chromosomes which are there. Apart from it, he has XY chromosome out there. So this is karyotype of Pawan. This is karyotype of what? Jasmine. Cool. This is how normally things work. Now let's come to here. Okay, what is happening in the case of Down syndrome? In the case of Down syndrome, Baba, over here, do you have 44 autosomes? Do you have just 44 autosomes, or is there some autosome which is extra? When I say 21st pair of chromosome has an extra thing out there, that means it is something extra, right? So how do you talk about it? Do you have 44 autosomes or do you have more autosomes? 45 autosomes, ma'am. Perfect. 45 autosomes is there. One extra autosome is out there, right? That is what we're talking about. Oh, thank you so much for mentioning. It's okay, dear. Okay. So what do we have? We have 45 autosomes over here. Okay. Now, if it's a male who is having Down syndrome, it is written like this, XY. If it's what? A male child who is having Down syndrome. Suppose it's a female child who is having Down syndrome. Again, 45 autosomes remains the same. XX, it becomes XXY because it's a female child who is having Down syndrome. This thing that you see over here is the karyotype of the organism. Okay, the number of chromosome and everything of an organism. Matka Rocks, hello. Hi, very cool name. One question out of the box. That scares me. That part scares me, but still you can ask me. Okay. Is this particular thing clear, by the way? Is this whole thing, Down syndrome thing, clear to you, the karyotype and everything? Will you be able to write it if at all they're asking you, what is the karyotype of Down syndrome? If yes, give me a thumbs up. Then we will go ahead talk about the symptoms, or basically the symptoms that you see in the case of Down syndrome as well. Yes, ma'am, crystal clear. Pakka. Okay, perfect. Now listen, if you talk about the symptoms that you have, these symptoms are very important. They can give you the symptoms and they can ask you, what is this disease out there? Okay, the first symptom which is there is small stature. That means small height. They will be having small height and they will be having round head. Okay, they will be having round head, as in you will be able to see their face. It's a little different. If you see a Down syndrome patient out there, their face looks a little different out there, right? So yes, short stature, round head, furrowed tongue will be there. By furrowed tongue, you mean something like this. There will be a small furrow in the tongue. It's not always there, but yes, this could be there. Furrowed tongue is also a feature. Broad palm crease. So if at all we look our palms, okay, we see that the lines and everything is there, but in their case, everything else is going to be plain. Mostly these creases which are there, they're going to be very, very dark. You can clearly see that. Okay, so that is what you mean by broad palm crease. And apart from that, the most important feature which is there is that they would be having mental retardation and also delayed development. Mental retardation is there and delayed development is there. Okay, so previously when people used to have Down syndrome and all, not everyone were allowed, or what do you say, understanding to manage, how to manage, people who were having Down syndrome, but now it's not like that. Okay, they are, gifted in many ways, and if at all you have someone in your family like that, probably you should be nurturing them very, very well. Cool. Furrowed tongue means this, dear. So normal tongue basically looks like this, right? So there will be a furrow over here. That is what you mean by furrowed tongue. Normally it's not generally been seen, but yes, this is a feature that they have put up there. Matka rocks, KMDZ loan. Dear, I really, okay, I'll be honest over here, I really have to research. I have no much idea about it. I can try, but I cannot give you the surety. I can definitely try. Okay, if it works, I'll definitely go research about it and I'll let you know. Okay? Does that work, Matka rocks? Okay, so my dear children, this is what you have about Down syndrome. The most important thing is trisomy 21, and as I said, this is okay. Now over here, this is also okay. This would be wrong. Don't write like that. 45A plus XX. 45A, okay. Rest everything is there. Fine. Let's go ahead with the next thing then. If that is clear, then let's go ahead to the next thing, that is Klinefelter syndrome. Are we ready for that? Are we ready for Klinefelter syndrome? Down syndrome has been done. Okay. One more very important thing that I have to mention over here. 21st pair of chromosome, it is autosomal or basically allosomal. It's a autosomal chromosome or is an allosomal chromosome. When I say 21st pair of chromosome, autosomal or allosomal? What do you think so? 21st pair of chromosome, is it autosomal or is it allosomal? My net is so slow. Okay, autosomal, man, right? Which is why, hi Divya, okay, which is why you say that this is an example of autosomal trisomy. This is an example of autosomal trisomy. Remember that, autosomal trisomy. Okay, now we're going to talk about Klinefelter's syndrome. Klinefelter's syndrome. What is happening up over here is that normally this person should have ideally got one X chromosome and one Y chromosome. That means that this person should have been basically totally masculine in nature, should have been a man. Is he a man? Yes, definitely he is a man itself. He has masculine features, that is there. Why? Because he have X and Y chromosome. But there is one thing that is extra over here which you need to know, and what is that? Here you have an extra chromosome out there, and this extra chromosome is an X chromosome. Now when you have an extra X chromosome, don't you think that along with having the masculine features, you might also develop some feminine characters, which is exactly why they show something which is known as gynecomastia, which is development of breast. Development of breast. And this is a very, very, very important question. They usually confuse you with things. Okay, so the overall masculine body is going to be there. It's not like they will be having a female body and things like that. No, they have overall masculine body, but they also have some feminine character, as in gynecomastia, that is development of breast. Why? Because they have an extra X chromosome as well. So, ma'am, Klinefelter syndrome is seen only in males, right? Yes, it will be seen only in males, and this is how this is how we generally say. Cool. Now, Madharu, hello. Hi, dear Madharu Uchicha. Cool. Yes. Now, listen to me very carefully. Here in this particular case, what are the other features that you will be seeing? You have the overall masculine body, you have some feminine character as in gynecomastia. That's the only thing that is given in NCERT. One more thing that will be there is, because you have an abnormal number of chromosome and different types of it, this particular person is going to be sterile. As in, what do you mean by sterile? They are not going to be able to produce offsprings. So what exactly happens is that, since the whole masculine feature is there, but you have some extra chromosomes out there, there won't be some secondary sexual characters. The normal secondary sexual characters which are there in a man, that is not going to be there. In their body, you will not see spermatogenesis happening, which is why there is no formation of sperm. And if there is no formation of sperm, are they fertile? No, they are going to be sterile. Okay, they are going to be sterile for the same reason. Always remember that. So overall masculine development, gynecomastia and sterility, this is what you usually see. Now, X and Y chromosome, are they autosomes or allosomes? X and Y chromosome, are they autosome or are they allosome? What do you think? Autosome or allosome? Ayyo, ellam pochu. Sorry, Shaktiman. It's going to be allosome, right? It cannot be autosome, it is going to be allosome. When you're talking about the sex chromosomes out there, they are going to be allosome. So over here, it is going to be allosomal. What extra chromosome is there? So this is going to be allosomal trisomy. Listen, Down syndrome is an example of autosomal trisomy. Here, this is an example of what? Allosomal trisomy. Very, very, very important thing. We cannot tend to forget it. Cool. And what is the karyotype going to be like? Any guesses? What is the karyotype going to be like? How many autosomes do they have? How many autosomes do they have? Come on. How many autosomes do they have? Any idea? 44 plus XXY. Okay, perfect. But there's a little A that is missing. So you have 44 autosomes, normal number of autosomes. But over here, the good part, the Pawan said, is that you have XXY. Instead of just having XY, you have an extra X chromosome. So this is a karyotype. Or you can also write this as, okay, sometimes people also write this as, they remove the A part over here. They write 47. Why 47? Because this is 44 chromosome, 45th, 46th, 47. In total, you have 47 chromosome, and then you put a comma, and then what do you write? You write XXY directly. When you write like this, you get to understand that this extra X is the extra one, which is why there is 47 over here. So you can write it as 47 comma XXY, or if you want to mention autosomes out there, you have to write it like this, 44A plus XXY. This is going to be the karyotype of Klinefelter syndrome, and this is the most asked question. This is the most asked question out there. Okay, their features, the karyotype is something that is being most asked. Works? Do you understand? If yes, give me thumbs up. If you have any doubt, ask me right away. Yes, ma'am. Got it. Perfect. Cool. So let's read the features of them. Masculine appearance with gynecomastia, that is breast development. They are going to be sterile and have incomplete secondary sexual characters. They will be having what? Incomplete secondary sexual characters. That is something that we have studied already. Okay. Now, let's talk about the next thing, that is going to be Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome is going to be a little different. Listen to me very carefully. Turner's syndrome. So apparently this should have been a female who have 2 X chromosome. This should have been a female having 2 X chromosome, but somehow you just have 1 X chromosome. You just have one X chromosome. So again, the same thing is happening. When I say that a cell was there, it had two chromosomes out there. Suppose just it was X and X. Okay, now when the cell divides, one X should go over here, another X should go over here, but apparently both the X's went to one gamete, another gamete does not have anything. Suppose this gamete and a normal gamete carrying X chromosome fused, you will get a condition like this. You will get a condition like this where there is a loss of a chromosome. Now first of all, tell me, is this X chromosome allosome or autosome? Allosomal monosomy. Perfect. So this is monosomy condition. Why monosomy? Because it's a loss of a chromosome, and this is going to be known as allosomal monosomy. Why? Because it's a sex chromosome which is being missing out there. Only example of monosomy and only example of allosomal monosomy. Now in this condition, what are the features that you're going to see? What are the features that you're going to see? Overall, definitely there will be feminine character, but there will be little masculinity here and there. Apart from it, the most important feature that you must remember is that they have rudimentary ovary. What do you mean by rudimentary ovary? It's there in your NCERT. Rudimentary ovary means the ovary is not fully developed, it's underdeveloped. It's going to be what? Underdeveloped, which is exactly why, yes, Pawan, they are going to be what? Sterile. Now, if it is underdeveloped, do you think they will be producing ovum out there? No. Which is why we say that they are going to be sterile in nature. They cannot have babies. Okay, they cannot have babies. That is one very important thing that you have to study about them. Is there anything more important that is there? Okay, again over here if you see, sterility due to rudimentary ovaries and lack of secondary sexual characters. Why lack of secondary sexual characters? Because when I say ovary is not developed nicely, or when I say testis is not developed nicely, these are the places where the hormones, the male and the female, important hormones are being produced. When these hormones are not there, we are not going to have the very important secondary sexual characters which should be ideally be there. Got it? That is the major logic which you have to use over here. Now, if I talk about the next thing, that is basically what is their karyotype going to be like? Can you guess what is their karyotype going to be like? Any guesses? What will be their karyotype? Waiting. 44 plus XO. Just a 44 plus XO. Again, A is missing over here. So what do you write over here? You write 44 autosomes. That is very much normal. Over here, there are 44 autosomes. Apart from it, they have XO condition. That is absolutely correct, Pawan. Okay, so 44 XO is a thing that you have, and this is going to be super important. Do not miss it out. But sometimes people also write it as you have 45 autosomes. You write it like this, 45 comma XO. What do you mean by that? Basically, this is the chromosome that is missing. Usually have 46 chromosome in total, but now you have one loss of chromosome, which is why you write it like this, 45 comma XO. So you can write it like either like this, or you can write it either like this. Works. This is about Turner's syndrome. Cool. Clear? If it's clear, just give me a thumbs up and we are good to go with our KCET full questions which are there. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Okay. So now I have a question for you before I go ahead. And that is, I'm giving you a thing, okay? You have to tell me which is the disorder that is happening up over here. Cool? So, they are going to be sterile. They have masculine body. And that's all. Which is the disorder that they are having up over here? Which is the disorder that they are having up over here? You can let me know. And just a second, okay? I'm just sharing a video in the WhatsApp channel as well. By then, you can just wait for a second. Just give me a second. Perfect. I'm so sorry because these children were asking me for the doubts and things like that. So it was just my role to update them. Okay. Rohan says Turner syndrome and Pavan says Klinefelter syndrome. Who is correct? Listen to me carefully. We studied about it. If they are sterile. Okay. If they're sterile, that is a feature of both Turner's as well as Klinefelter syndrome. Why? Because both of them have some issues are there. Okay. They have one has extra chromosome, one does not have. One has rudimentary ovary, one has basically lack of secondary sexual characters. Both of them have some issues. What about masculine body? Masculine body, overall masculine development is found only in the case of Klinefelter syndrome. So never think, this is the general thing that we think. Okay, in Klinefelter syndrome, we studied that there is development of breast. That is only one character. But rest everything, they have a masculine development altogether. The only feminine character that is there is basically development of breast, that is gynecomastia. This is why I gave you this question. Okay, this is why I gave you this question, because this is a usual question that is being asked every now and then. So I told you here, I'm telling you again, Klinefelter syndrome, overall masculine body itself. Why? Because they have XY chromosome. But over here they also show gynecomastia. Why, Baba? Because there's an extra X chromosome out there. Got it? Okay. Hello, Dhanush. Works. So I'll show you a question also, if at all that gives you clarity. Okay, just give me a second. There was a question. Where is the question? The question went down. So there was a question which said that what is a disease that has overall masculine development? So you children usually go and write Turner syndrome. Don't write that. Okay? Cool? Works. That's all. In Turner syndrome, just remember rudimentary ovaries. Rohan, Baba, I hope that is clear. Rohan, clear, macha? And I'm so happy you tried. By the way, welcome to our class. Okay, so here is a question on the basis of, what do you say, KCET. This is a KCET question on which has a relevance in this particular topic. Let's try to solve it. Identify which one of the following given pair of option is correct with respect to Down syndrome and Turner syndrome. So over here and here, both of them has to be correct. Okay, Pavan said the answer for this question is going to be C. Okay. Hi Abdul Razak. Okay, so Pavan says C. What about others? Let's check it out. So for both Down syndrome and this, it should be correct. Down syndrome, short-statured individual, correct. What about Turner syndrome? Gynecomastia in man. In Turner syndrome, you do not have gynecomastia. In the case of Klinefelter syndrome, you have gynecomastia, right? So this is going to be wrong. So I cannot say A option is correct. Next thing, round head and partially open mouth. This is actually correct in the case of Down syndrome. What about this? Turner syndrome, overall masculine development, wrong. Overall masculine development is seen in what? Yes, we know that it is seen in Klinefelter syndrome. So this is going to be wrong again. Rohan also gave me the answer C. Perfect. Good, Josh. Okay. Broad palm, physical and mental development retarded in the case of Down syndrome. Correct? No? We studied about it. Here, in the case of Turner syndrome, sterile females, as in they are not able to produce, babies are there with rudimentary ovaries. Yeah, that is why they are sterile. Their ovaries are underdeveloped. So this is also correct. For the first time, both the things are correct. So I'll say C would be correct. But as a person who is into bio, I clearly know that I have to read about this also. Additional copy of X chromosome out there. Wrong. X chromosome? No. In Down syndrome, you do not have X chromosome. Additional copy of 21st chromosome. Absence of X chromosome. That is correct over here. But anyway, since this is not correct, the only answer that you have over here is going to be C. Is going to be C. It is seen in Klinefelter's, ma'am. Yes. So the answer for this particular question is going to be C, and both of you who gave me the correct answer, and also Abdul Razak gave me the correct answer, 3 of you. Perfect. Kudos, children. You are doing great. Okay. So shall I move to the next question? If yes, give me thumbs up. If I can move to the next question, just give me a thumbs up. I'll move. Yo, something has bitten me. Does this usually happen to you also? Okay. Next question. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so you have to be a little more vigilant over here. It's a combination of lot of disorders. Find the incorrect statement among the following. First of all, underline this. This is what you have been asked. Incorrect. In sex-linked recessive traits, the gene is transmitted from unaffected carrier female to some of the male progeny. Sex-linked recessive trait, for example, color blindness and all. In that, from unaffected carrier female, that means she looks like this, she is unaffected, which is why only one is going to be having the defect, other one is there, it will overshadow the effect. Okay. the gene is transmitted to some of the male progeny, is it? Yes, when you say that a male is being formed, the mother can contribute either this X chromosome or probably the affected X chromosome. You can pass it, right? You can pass it. So obviously this definitely is going to be correct. A is definitely going to be correct. So Pavan says C. Abdul Razak also says C. So let's see. Satyan, I'll just read your option as well. I'll read your thing as well. Just give me a second. Accumulation of phenyl pyruvic acid in the brain results in mental retardation. That is correct. In phenylketonuria, we studied about it. Okay. Individuals affected by Down syndrome will have congenital heart defect. That means genetic heart defect that is there. And are more intelligent. Wrong. They have mental retardation. And my dear children, I did not expect you guys to get to look at this and give the answer so fast. You guys are awesome. Answer is going to be this. Why? Because it is mentioned that they are going to be more intelligent. Wrong. They have mental retardation. Now, Turner syndrome is caused due to absence of one X chromosome. Correct? No. So, the only answer that we have for this question is going to be C. If this is clear, give me a thumbs up and kudos to 3 of you guys. Now, after joining the college in round 2, are we allowed to add college that is not in our list in option 3 for round 3 engineering? That is basically for the upgrade that you're asking, right? So mostly yes, but I'm not sure about it yet because they have not mentioned. They told that seed matrix is going to be released and based on that you can add. So most probably you will be able to add there. Okay, mostly yes. Cool. So Bhavan says yes. Rohan gave me thumbs up. Thank you so much. Abdullah, I hope everything is clear. Now, gynecomastia is a symptom of 2022 KCET question. Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, Cri-du-Chat syndrome or Klinefelter syndrome? What do you think is the answer for this? You're most welcome, Satyan. What do you think is the answer for this? Rohan says D is the answer. Pavan says D is the answer. Oh my God, everyone says D. Gynecomastia is in development of breast. We know overall muscular development, but development of breast is seen in the case of Klinefelter syndrome. The answer is actually going to be D. Perfect. So that means whatever we studied, it's all clear to you guys, and I'm super proud. Cool. So D is the thing. This is the picture that is given in your NCERT, overall muscular development, but the development of breast is there. And it's written over here, tall stature with feminized character. They usually have tall stature. In the case of Turner syndrome, they usually have a small stature, as in the height would be less. Cool? Yes. Now, try this question. This is KCET 2021 question. I hope that could help you. Match the column 1 with column 2. Column 1 says autosomal trisomy, allosomal trisomy, allosomal monosomy, cystic fibrosis, and column 2 says all the disorders out there. So we can go one by one. Satyan, thanks ma'am, because of you I scored 99. Re-exam boards, you're the best. Oh, really? Thank you so much for saying that. It means a lot. Thank you, Satyan. That's so kind of you to come back over here and talk about it. I really didn't expect. Lots of love to you. And if at all you were in real here, I would have hugged you as well. Thanks a lot. Okay, now I'm happy for you. Now, Sania is also there. Hi, Sania. Sania says the answer for this question is D. Pavan says D. Rohan says D. D is what? D is this. Let me decode. So whenever I get match the following question, I usually go by this logic. I match A first and then D. Okay, then I try to find the answer. Autosomal trisomy. Autosomal over here, only one disease is autosomal. Down syndrome, 21st chromosome is autosome. So, and that is extra. So, A goes with 4. A goes with 4. I have 2 options. I can cancel out these 2 options. Now, here, D is with 2. Here, D is with 1. D is cystic fibrosis. Most of you might not know about cystic fibrosis. If at all you do not know, it's actually autosomal recessive disorder. Okay, it's a Mendelian disorder. It's an autosomal recessive disorder along with, sickle cell anemia, thalassemia and things like that. Okay, in that particular case, since cystic fibrosis is not so common, let's go up. Okay, allosomal monosomy. Allosomal monosomy. Monosomy is only seen in the case of Turner syndrome. C goes with 1 and I've already got my answer. Answer is going to be D. Answer is going to be D. Here allosomal trisomy is there. That means X chromosome which is extra. That is seen in Klinefelter syndrome. Extra X chromosome. Allosomal monosomy, loss of 1 chromosome. That is loss of X chromosome. Cystic fibrosis is an autosomal recessive disorder which comes under Mendelian disorder. Okay? Works? Works? I also know it mainly due to Hi Nana movie. In that it's there, huh? Oh my god, I didn't know that. Okay, now one very important thing before I go ahead. Okay, I'm asking you a question. Myotonic dystrophy, what type of disease is it? Myotonic dystrophy, what type of disease is it? Oh, about cystic fibrosis. I didn't know that. Okay, in that what do you say, movie that's there. Okay. Autosomal dominant disorder. Perfect, macha. So there is only one disorder given in your NCERT which is going to be dominant, and that too is autosomal dominant disorder. And for that they have given the pedigree chart. Under the pedigree chart they have mentioned about this. So never forget it. Okay, it's autosomal dominant disorder. Okay, it's autosomal dominant disorder. Cool? Yes. Satish, dear, I really do not know. I wish I could help you, but I have no understanding about that, dear. I'm so sorry. Okay, now the next question, guys. Okay, are we ready? I hope we are ready. This is the next question that we have. Match column 1 with column 2 and find the correct answer. Aneuploidy, monoploidy, polyploidy, diploidy is over here. Okay, what is the thing that is given over here? Increase in whole set of chromosome, loss or gain of a chromosome, 2 sets of chromosome, a single set of chromosome. What is the answer for this? Pavan says C is the answer. What about others? Okay, Sania says, Sania is there. Hi, Sania. Sania says C is the answer. Sania Fatima had given me the answer before also. Perfect. Rohan, what about you, dear? And where did our Abdul Razak go? What do you think is the answer for this? So again, which is the most easiest thing to link over here? Loss or gain of a chromosome. We know loss or gain of the chromosome is going to be what? Aneuploidy. A goes with 2. A goes with 2. Over here, I just have one option like that, and with that, I can find my answer. Right? I just have one option like that, and with that, I have found my answer altogether. Now, what is polyploidy? Aneuploidy and polyploidy we have studied. Aneuploidy means loss or gain of a chromosome. Polyploidy means basically gain of a whole set of chromosome. Whole set of chromosome. Why did it happen? Because the chromosome is duplicated, thinking that one day the cell is going to divide. But the cell division did not take place. If the cell is not dividing, the whole set of chromosome becomes extra. This set becomes extra. Okay, polyploidy is seen in the case of plants, and this results in increase in whole set of chromosome. Monoploidy and diploidy is actually very easy. It's just given to confuse you guys. Diploid means 2. That means diploid means 2 set of chromosome. Mono means 1, so 1 set of chromosome. Single set of chromosome, and this goes with 2 sets of chromosome. And that is how we have got the answer, which is C. Which is C. Have you understood this, or you genuinely think that, ma'am, I'm not sure about this, can you re-explain? I will. But you have to let me know. If you have understood it, if you are good to go, just give me thumbs up. If you have understood, if you are good to go, just give me a thumbs up. We'll move ahead. Perfect. Thank you, Sanya. Okay, cool. So, yes. Now, this is a 5-marker question that has come in the model question paper of 2024-25. So, here is a question that goes like this. Define aneuploidy. Give 2 examples of aneuploidy. So, what is aneuploidy? Aneuploidy is a failure of segregation of chromatids. And what are the 2 examples of aneuploidy? You have allosomal trisomy, that is Klinefelter syndrome. Allosomal monosomy, that is Turner syndrome. We can just give the example for that. Now, mention the karyotype of Klinefelter syndrome of an affected individual and write its symptoms. Symptoms, you know, overall masculine body, but you have gynecomastia, and the person is going to be sterile with lack of secondary sexual characters. Okay, because their body is not producing sperms and all spermatogenesis is not happening, which is why they are going to be sterile. Just know that. What is a karyotype? We just studied over here. They have the same number of autosomes just like all of us. The chromosomes over here are going to differ. You have an extra X chromosome. You can write it like this, or basically you can write it also like this. 44, 45, 46, 47. 47 chromosomes are there. You're not writing autosomes and blah 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 things. You're just writing 47 and then XXY. With that, you get to understand that this one is probably an extra chromosome out there. Okay. 45A plus X. Pavan, 45A plus XXY. No, da. How can it be 45A? It will be 44. No. 45 means one extra autosome is there. Got it? Ma'am, how come you stand for such long? It's not just YouTube session, but you also will be taking badges as well. You must be have led things really great, ma'am. Oh my God, thank you so much for considering that. So sweet of you, Bhavan. We manage somehow. I do not know how we manage, but yes, somehow it's done. So the answer for this question is going to be this. And how do you frame it? Right, like this. Aneuploidy is a condition where an organism has abnormal number of chromosome, either due to gain or loss of one of the chromosome. It is caused by non-disjunction during cell division, as in no proper separation during cell division. And then you give the example Down syndrome, Turner syndrome. Then you talk about the next part of this Klinefelter syndrome. You talk about the karyotype over here. Then you give the symptoms. Okay, and that way you get 5 out of 5 marks out there. And now we are going to go ahead with the KCET PYQs. The rest of the PYQs which are there. Are we officially ready for it? Are we officially ready for it? If yes, let's begin the battle for the day. Can we? Here goes the first question out there, that is, the gene disorder phenylketonuria is an example of polygenic inheritance, pleiotropy, multiple allelism, or multiple factor inheritance. What do you think is the answer for this particular question? The gene disorder phenylketonuria is an example of what? You have 4 options out there. You have to choose from these 4. Pavan says the answer for this question is going to be B. What about others? What about others? What exactly happens in phenylketonuria? What happens in Sania also says it is going to be B. Is it B? Yes, it is B. Why? Listen to me very carefully. Phenylketonuria is a disease which is caused by when a mutation is happening over here in one gene, which is why now your body is not producing an enzyme that is known as phenylalanine hydroxylase. When this phenylalanine hydroxylase is not being produced, what is going to happen? In your body, there is an amino acid that is known as phenylalanine that will not be converted to tyrosine, which is another amino acid. So usually you need this enzyme for the conversion. In this case, since this guy is not there, this particular gene has been affected, you do not see this transformation, which is why what is going to happen? Anyone can tell me what is going to happen? If at all phenylalanine is not going to get converted, what will happen over here? What will happen in this particular case? So Pavan and Sani, all of them say BBB. It is converted to phenyl pyruvic acid, which accumulates in the body and causes mental retardation. Exactly. This thing either stays like this, or probably it gets converted to phenyl pyruvic acid. And when it does, Baba, it accumulates in our body, causes mental retardation. Okay. Now here, why do you see that this is an example of pleiotropy? Listen to me. When usually Mendel said that one gene has basically deals with one particular character. Here I am saying one gene has effect on multiple character. One is going to be this thing is going to be affected, but one more thing is going to be affected over here. What is that? Listen to me. If tyrosine has not been formed, you know tyrosine is super important for a formation of a pigment, and that is known as melanin. If melanin is not there, this pigment is not there that gives us color of our hair and our skin and things like that, we will be having reduced skin and hair pigmentation. Skin and hair pigmentation is going to be reduced up there. Now one gene which is there, isn't it responsible for multiple character? Isn't it controlling multiple character? Is this what Mendel said? No, Mendel said one gene, one character. But this is an example of pleiotropy. Pleiotropy is a condition where one gene has effect on multiple character, and that is why phenylketonuria is an example for this. Okay, so the answer for this question is going to be B, and my dear children had already given me the answer for this, and I'm super happy regarding that. If it's clear, can you give me a thumbs up? If you have any doubts, you can freely ask me right now. Any doubt regarding this? Polygeny is going to be different. Polygeny means Here it's ulta. Polygyny means multiple genes are there. They are all responsible for one character. Here in pleiotropy, one gene, multiple character. Polygyny, poly means multiple, genes mean gene, geny means gene. So multiple genes, one character. That is going to be different. Okay, so Pawan gave me thumbs up. I hope Sania for you also is clear, which is why you gave me the answer. Okay, so yes, let's go with the next question that is up there. And the question goes like this. From the pedigree chart shown, what can you conclude about the trait? Autosomal dominant trait, autosomal recessive trait, autosomal dominant trait, allosomal dominant trait and allosomal recessive trait. And over here you have the picture. I hope you're able to see the picture. The picture looks like this. What type of trait is this? So here I see the parents are not affected, but the progenies are. Okay, here I see the progeny, again a female child is being affected. What type of trait is this? What type of trait is this? Any idea? We studied about the pedigree chart in our classes before. And if it's okay, even if you give me wrong answers, because my dear children, I'm here to help you with studies, right? I'll not judge you. Pavan says, is B the answer? Okay, let's check what is B. Autosomal recessive trait. Sania, waiting for your answer as well. What do you think? What is going to be the answer? You can guess also. Even if you do not know, you can guess. Sania says B is the answer. Okay, let's check it out. So listen to me carefully. I'll give you a funda. With that funda, you can solve any pedigree related question. Okay? The funda goes like this. If it is a recessive disorder, you will see skipping of generation. If it's a recessive disorder, you know, dominant and recessive disorders are there. Dominant disorders are going to be seen in every one parent, at least one parent is going to be affected in every generation. If it is recessive disorder, you will see something like this, skipping of generation. Here the parents do not have it, but here the children have it. This is known as skipping. Similarly, you can see more skipping also. So that means it is definitely a recessive disorder since I say skipping. Now I just have to find out whether it is sex-linked or it is autosomal. How do I find that out? Listen, if it is sex-linked disorder, usually the males are the one which are affected more. Here if I see in this generation, the male and the females are equally affected. In this next generation, the female is mostly affected. So I can say, no ma'am, it's not sex-linked because sex-linked males have to be affected. This is going to be what? What do you say? This is going to be most probably autosomal. But that's not the only way how you can find that out. There's one more way. In the case of sex-linked disorders, you will see crisscross pattern of inheritance. That means, if at all, the mother is diseased, you will see her son is going to be diseased. If the son is diseased, his daughter will be diseased. Female, male, female, or male, female, male. That is how it goes. Crisscross inheritance pattern is being seen. Now in this particular scenario, do you see that? In this particular scenario, do you see either of this thing? You do not see the males to be affected more. Neither do you see crisscross inheritance, female to female is being seen. So what do you understand? It is going to be autosomal disorder. It is going to be autosomal. Is it recessive or dominant? Ma'am, since it is skipping generation over here, it is recessive disorder. If at all here also one parent was affected, I would have said it is dominant disorder. But that's not the case. It is going to be recessive. So we know it is not sex-linked. Why not sex-linked? Why not sex-linked? Because I do not see crisscross inheritance, nor do I see that the males are affected more. That is why I can just remove the sex-linked part. Now, why will I not say that it is dominant disorder? Because over here I do not see, what do you say, no skipping of generation. I see that there is skipping of generation. I see that there is going to be skipping of generation, which is why it is not going to be dominant also. So what are we left with? Autosomal recessive disorder. This answer is going to be B, Baba. So Sania, the first answer that you gave was correct, and Pavan, your guess was also correct. It is going to be B. Autosomal recessive disorder. Is it clear? If clear, give me thumbs up. If you have any doubt, ask me. Clear. Perfect. Sania, I hope, dear, it's clear for you as well. Okay. So here is a question. Here is one more question. Perfect. Okay, which of these is an example of autosomal hyperploidy? This came in KCET 2017. Which of them is an example of autosomal hyperaneuploidy? Say hyperploidy. Autosomal hyperploidy. Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome, hemophilia. Hemophilia. What do you think is the answer? Pavan says A is the answer. Okay. What about others? What about other Chutku people out there? Because B and C are allosomal. Perfect. Sani also says A is the answer. Pavan also says A is the answer. What about other children? Listen, it is going to be A. Why A? Listen, autosomal is being mentioned over here. That means it is going to affect the autosome. Here, Klinefelter's as well as Turner syndrome, as Pavan said, Beba, it is going to be what? Allosomal. They are going to affect the sex chromosome, not the normal, or what do you say, autosomes out there. So this is the only autosomal disorder that we have. Hemophilia is also a sex-linked disorder. Anyway, let's just leave it out. Okay. Here, it's known as hyperploidy word. Hyper means you have something extra. Hyper, you are hyper. That means extra. What do you say? Gussa and all. Gussa, what do you say in English? My God, anger. Okay, hyper. Okay, and hyper means it is less. So hyper as in you are going to have extra chromosome out there. The 21st chromosome over here is going to be extra. So you can remember it as autosomal hyperploidy. So the answer for this question is going to be A. Okay, A for apple. Clear? If clear, just give me thumbs up. We'll move on to the next question. If it's super clear, let's go on to the next question. If it is loss of, will it be known as hyperploidy? I'm not pretty sure about that, but it should be ideally. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead with the next one. I have to check that. Okay, what do you call that term? Anyways, the type of sex determination seen in honeybees is, in honeybee, which type of sex determination do you see? Do you see haplodiploid? Do you see haploidy? Do you see diploidy? Do you see ZZZW? What do you think is the answer for this particular question? The type of sex determination seen in the case of honeybees. BB honeybee. Sania says the answer for this question is going to be D. And what is D? D is ZZZW. Are you sure? Are you sure? Think twice. Think twice. Honeybees. Honeybees, they're going to be a little different. One more chance. Okay, one more chance. Papa person, no? We can give one more chance. Sex determination seen in the case of honeybees. I'm not talking about birds. Birds have different sex determination. I'm talking about a honeybee. Okay. Not utilizing that one more chance. Anyway, it is not the one that we spoke about right now. It's going to be a little different. Okay then, I'll only tell the answer. Listen to me carefully, okay? In the case of honeybees, there is a condition where if at all they are diploid. If at all they are diploid, as in they have two sets of chromosome. If there are two sets of chromosome, we say 32 chromosomes are there. There's a condition that they are haploid. They have half the set of the chromosome, which means half of 32 is what? 16. In this condition, if they are diploid, they become females. Okay. If they receive two of them, they become female. Okay. If they have half of it, they become males. So this is known as haplodiploid sex determination. What do you call this? Haplodiploid sex determination. So the answer for this question is going to be haplodiploidy. It is going to be haplodiploidy. Sania, the answer is going to be 1. But it's still fine. Kudos to you for trying. Okay, so diploid means two set of chromosome, it is going to be females. Haploid, half of it, it is going to be what? Males. Which is why we say both haplodiploid sex determination mechanism works over here. Cool, cool, cool. Do you need an explanation for that? I can explain you if at all you want. If you want me to explain, I can go ahead and give an explanation as well. So it works like this. I can explain it. It's not a big thing. So suppose we have 32 number of chromosome. in a normal female. Okay, and over here in the case of a male, you have 16 number of chromosome. Right? Now, when females, they're going to make their gametes, how do they look? Females, when they make their gametes, whenever we say gamete formation is there, we say they undergo meiosis. Meiosis is the reductional division, where now when they form the cells, now when they form the cells, they will have half the number of chromosome. So over here, when I say it was having 32, now at this condition, they will be having 16 number of chromosome. This is when the female was diploid, and when they had to produce the haploid egg out there. What about the males? They already have 16. Can they undergo meiosis? Can they undergo meiosis? The answer is no. They cannot undergo meiosis. Because if they undergo meiosis, it becomes reduced to half. We cannot let that happen. Rather, it undergoes mitosis. Normal cell division, where the cell divides into two, the number of chromosome remains the same. Suppose it divided like this, and now you have 16 number of chromosome. This is mitosis. This is meiosis. Okay. Now suppose an egg carrying 16 chromosome fuses with a sperm carrying 16 chromosome. What happens? 16 plus 16, it becomes 32. In this scenario, if at all a fusion is happening, we say that this particular organism which is there is going to be a female. Why? Because it has 32 number of chromosome. What happens with a male? How is a male being formed over here? Papa, male guy over here, partiality is happening. Okay. In the case of male, there is no fusion of gametes and all. This particular haploid egg which is there, without undergoing any fertilization, they transform into males. They directly transform into male without fertilization. I know it's very difficult to believe. This is a process that takes place naturally. This is known as parthenogenesis. Okay, what do you call this? Parthenogenesis. Since there is no fusion of gametes, that is why they just have half of it, half the number of chromosome, and this is what you see in the case of males. So diploid is going to be female, haploid is going to be male. Works. That is why haplodiploid sex determination mechanism. Just give me a second. Hello? Nee pukko enki live undato. Bye. Bye bye. Got it? Now over here, one more very important thing that we have to note is that, basically the male which is being formed over here, does it have a father? No. Does it have a grandfather? Yes. Because every female who is there is formed because of the father and the mother. So we say the males which are formed over here, okay, have grandfather. So there is a grandfather-grandson relation. There is no father-son relation over here. There is no father-son relation that you will be able to see over here. Cool? Clear? I think, what I'm saying and what is coming is a little slow out there, which is why it's difficult. But, yeah. If it's clear, let's go ahead with the next question. Sania, I'm hoping it's clear. Okay, so let's go ahead with the next question, which says this. Okay, we can just a second. Okay, we'll go with this question. ABO, okay, Hitesh gave me thumbs up. Thank you so much. Okay, ABO blood type in man is an example of pleiotropy, incomplete dominance, codominance, multiple allism. Select the correct code. What do you think? ABO blood group in man is an example of what? A, pleiotropy, B, incomplete dominance, C, codominance, and D, multiple allelism. Select the correct order. Select the correct code. Over here you have got options. You can choose from that. Any guesses? What is the answer for this? Hitesh says the answer for this question is going to be B. What is B? Let's check it out. ABO blood group is an example of pleiotropy. Is it an example of pleiotropy? What do you mean by pleiotropy? Pleiotropy means one gene has multiple effects. Here, the gene over here for ABO blood group is I gene. I gene does not have any much effect. Only one effect is there. It decides which type of sugar polymer is going to be there on the surface of the red blood cell. It does not have multiple effects. So A cannot be the one. A cannot be the one. So over here in the B option, A is there, so I'll not say it is B. Anything else that you can guess of? Children. Any guesses? What about incomplete dominance? Do you see incomplete dominance over here in the case of, what do you say, ABO blood group? Again, you do not see incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance means both of them are not completely dominant. For example, you see that in snapdragon plant, capital R is not completely dominant over this, which is why it will be pink in color. Capital R stands for red, small r stands for white. Over here, when this combination comes, it is pink in color. Why? Because of incomplete dominance. Sania says the answer for this question is going to be A. Again, A. A will not have A. Pleiotropy cannot be there, right? Pleiotropy, no way, cannot be there. Pleiotropy is not applied in ABO blood group. Okay, let's talk about the next thing. Codominance. Do you see that in ABO blood group? Yes. Baba, whenever you have a gene combination like this, IA, IB, what is going to happen? Both of them says that I am dominant, which is why both of them express themselves. This is known as codominance, which is why we have AB blood group as well. So C is there. C is definitely going to be seen. What about D1, multiple allelism? What do you mean by multiple allelism? Usually we have seen children. What is going to happen is that when I say that height is a character, it has two alleles, capital T, small t. Not more than that. But over here, in the case of the blood, okay, in the case of the ABO blood group, we see there are three alleles, IA, IB, and IO. This is an example of what? Multiple allelism. So this is being followed, and basically codominance is also being seen, which is why I'll say C and D is the only correct option, and the answer is going to be C. The answer over here is going to be C. Are you getting it? Understanding this? So it's not A, it's not B, but I'm really happy that you guys tried. If you have doubts, ask me. That, ma'am, I didn't still get it. I don't understand pleiotropy and I don't understand incomplete dominance. You can ask me. Hey, don't be sorry, macha. Sania, don't be sorry, ever sorry. For wrong answers, if at all you give me, you should say sorry, it does not make any sense. Okay? So, if you're giving a wrong answer, it means that basically, okay, you did not do something correct, and I will be probably ending up correcting you. That's the only thing. And you will learn something and you will go from here after learning, right? So, there's no need for being sorry. It's not a mistake that you're doing knowingly, right? So, yes, I hope this is clear now. If it's clear, can you quickly give me a thumbs up? Such that we can move ahead. Sorry, ma'am, C, yes. Can we go ahead? Thumbs up needed. Guys, where are you all? Come on, come back with energy. We have to solve a lot of questions out there. If at all there is no energy, there is no way we can solve it. Okay, Sanya gave me thumbs up. Now choose the possible genotype for the lightest skin color in humans. How do we determine the lightest skin color in humans? Which combination gives us lightest skin color? This or this? This came in 2018. This came in 2018. Lightest skin color. Any guesses? This is an example of polygyny, by the way. This is an example of polygyny. What do you mean by polygyny? Until now, we have studied that one gene, one character. One gene codes for example, I have capital T, it codes for tallness. That is how it is. That is how it generally works. But here, things are going to be quite different. If you talk about our skin color as well as the human height, it follows polygyny. Polygyny means multiple genes comes and basically shows the effect. For example, I have a gene over here with A and A. I have a gene over here, capital B, capital B. I have a gene over here, capital C, capital C. These three of them are going to contribute, and now that is going to decide the color. Suppose if I have a combination like this, then I will be having the darkest skin tone. I will be having the darkest skin tone. Why? Because I have all the dominant alleles out there. Here, if at all you noticed, multiple genes are there responsible for one character. What is that character? The skin color. That is why this is an example of what? Polygyny. As I told you, human height and basically skin color, all of of them, they come under polygyny. Wherever you see variation, you and me, Sania, you, and Jasmine, me, will be having a different skin color. If at all we have 10 people in between us, they will also have different shades of color. It's because you see multiple variations over here because of multiple genes showing their effect. Okay, so someone said, okay, Sania says C is the answer. Yes, Sania got to understand a little basic and then she has bagged it. Perfect. C is going to be the answer. What is C? Small a, small b, small c. So whenever you have a combination of all the recessive alleles, the small alleles, it is going to have the lightest skin tone. If at all you have the darkest one, then it should be all the capital alleles together. Got it? And here, this is middle thing. Got it? Clear? If clear, give me thumbs up. If it's super clear, give me thumbs up, champions. Let's go ahead with the next question. Now, I feel a little enjoyment out there when you guys are participating. So, if you do not give me thumbs up, I do not understand whether you're understanding things or not. That's why I ask you to give me thumbs up, okay? There's no other reason. I do not want to torture you. Okay, perfect. Next one, identify the odd one among the following disorders. You have to find which one is the odd one. Hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, phenylketonuria and thalassemia. This question we have solved before, but still you can try. Identify the odd one among the following disorders. Here you have the disorders. You have to find which one is the odd one out. Any guesses? So, to give you a clue, all of them are Mendelian disorders, but some of them are going to be sex-linked and others are going to be autosomal. With that, probably you can go ahead and try to find the answer. Any guesses? Any guesses? Over here, if at all I see Baba, Sane says B is the answer. Sickle cell anemia. Okay, let's check it out. Listen to me. Hemophilia, which is there, it is going to be sex-linked disorder, just like color blindness. What about sickle cell anemia? Sickle cell anemia over here is going to be autosomal. Okay, what about phenylketonuria? Autosomal. What about thalassemia? Autosomal. So in that case, which one is the odd one out? The only odd one out over here is going to be hemophilia. Why? Because it is going to be sex-linked recessive disorder. This is because of an issue with the sex chromosome. Over here, a gene is being mutated. Where is this gene located? On the sex chromosome. That is why you call it sex-linked disorder. If at all, there's an autosome over here, and this autosome has one gene been affected, which is why you have a disease. This is known as autosomal disorder out there. Okay, here it's not like the chromosome is going all together or the chromosome is coming all together. No. Depending on the chromosome, the gene could be there and that gene could be mutated, and depending on that we name it. So if at all it's an autosome whose gene is being mutated, I call it autosomal disorder. And if at all it's a sex chromosome whose gene is being mutated, which is why I get the disease, I'll call it sex-linked disorders out there. Okay, so the answer for this question is going to be what? A. It is going to be A. Why? Because hemophilia is a sex-linked disorder. Cool. It's going to be A. Is it clear? So by the way, I'll tell you one very important thing. For any one of you who feel that my concepts are not super clear, I have some doubts, I have some very difficult things in my head. So if you see Disha Karnataka channel, that is our channel, if you just go to the home page and move down a bit, okay, just move down a bit, here you're gonna see something that is, why doesn't it zoom out? Okay, where is it? So sorry. Okay, so here there's a playlist which you call as Second PUC 2026 to 2027 Biology playlist. Okay, if you click on view full playlist, what is going to happen over here? You are going to see multiple chapters. Okay, I have completed human health and diseases, I have completed principles of inheritance and variation, I have completed reproductive health, I have completed human reproduction, I have completed sexual reproduction flowering plants. If at all you see the duration, you'll be like, oh my god, man, this much who will study? But listen to me carefully. If you feel that I do not need to know the the entire thing. You just need to go topic wise. I have done it topic wise itself. But here, the reason it is long is because I have solved KCET PYQs up there, all of them, whichever is important. Apart from it, I have solved all the second PUC important questions as well in the one-shot video itself. So this gives you clarity, and I can write it down anywhere that you're going to get your best marks. Today also one shot is going to come, molecular base of inheritance. I actually put it before also, but apparently there was some issues in some place. There was no audio, which is why I'm going to re-upload it today at 7 o'clock. It is going to be premiered. Okay, so make sure you go check it out. It is definitely going to be helpful for you for understanding the concepts if by any chance you have missed it. Cool? This is just a friendly reminder for all my dear little children, because your midterms are also coming, so definitely it is going to help you in your midterms as well. Okay, now let's call this question. Which of these pedigree symbols denotes contiguous mating? What do you mean by contiguous mating? Mating between relatives is known as contiguous mating. So you have A, B, C, D options over here, and you have to tell which one of them denotes contiguous mating. Mating between relatives. What do you mean by this dabba that is there, the square? It means male. What do you mean by this? It means female. What do you mean by this? Mating between male and female. What do you mean by this? So Sania says the answer for this question is going to be B. Perfect. The answer is here going to be B. This is contiguous mating. When you have two lines, that means they are very close to each other. That means they could be relatives out there, right? So the answer for this question is going to be B. This is one of the most important things that is being asked in pedigree. Cool? Perfect. Let's go ahead with the next thing. Which character was not studied by Mendel in his pea plant experiment? Which character was not being studied by Mendel in his pea plant experiment? Leaf shape, stem height, pod shape, and seed shape. Come on, my junior Mendels out there. Go on, get the answer. Which was not being studied by Mendel in his experiment? Are you sorry? Huh? Okay, Gangotri is there, says A. Hello. Gangotri says A. A is what? Seed, leaf shape, and that is actually correct. But about all the other characters, stem height, we studied in Mendel's character. Mendel studied basically 7 very important characters. Okay, one is height. Okay, apart from height, what do you have? You have pod color. Okay, pod shape. What do you mean by pod color and pod shape? Pod, you might have seen, no? The green piece is basically inside the green pod out there, right? That is how it is there. So pod color and pod shape what we studied. After that, seed shape. Okay, and seed color was studied. Apart from that, flower color, violet and white, and lastly flower position. There is nothing that is basically denoting leaf shape. So leaf shade is not something that we have studied out there. Cool, which is why the answer for this question is going to be A. Hi Gangotri, I hope you're doing really good. Children, understanding? Sania, clear macha? Shall we go with the next question? So over here, the answer for this question is going to be this. Okay. Not clear. Okay, wait. Listen to me. So basically what happened is that Mendel, he went ahead and he studied the pea plant because it had very contrasting traits out there. That means that if at all, when he spoke about height, just a second. If you're hearing any noises, it's because of rain. Okay, when he spoke about height, he could find the pea plant which were tall, like really tall, and the pea plant which were, what do you say, very short out there. We say dwarf. when you had these type of contrasting traits out there, it was very easy for him to study the genetics of a plant out there. Okay, so one such character was height. Similarly, you had multiple other characters which he studied. Apart from height, what did he study? He studied about the pod. Okay, he studied about the pod. In pod, he spoke about the pod shape and the pod color. What do you mean by that over here is that in pod shape also you have two shapes. One is basically when the pod is like this, it is full. Okay, it is full. On the other hand, it can be something like this where it looks a little dry. This is constricted. Similarly, when I talk about pod color, he saw that basically the pod color could either be green or probably it could be something that is known as yellow. So for each character that he was studying, there were contrasting traits which helped him understand the genetics even better. So when he crossed this and this, he got all of them to be green plants. He didn't get anything in middle and all. You get it? That is why he was using the same plant again and again for his experiment. So these are just three characters. You have few more. Apart from pod color, you have seed. Okay, in seed also, you have seed shape. Seed shape can be like what? Can be round like this or it can be wrinkled like this. Okay, apart from seed shape, there is again one more thing that is known as seed color. Seed color. In seed color, Baba, you have one thing that is basically yellow seeds, and there is one more seed color that is what? Green seed. Green seed. Cool and fast. The next thing that is there is basically flower color. In flower color, he basically had two. One was violet. The flowers were violet, and the others were basically white in color. And the last one was flower position. Flower position. In flower position, basically you had flowers at the terminal position and you had flowers from the place where you get a branch over here. This is known as axial position. So you have axial and terminal. Here the question is, which is that character which was not studied? So all the characters, stem height is being studied, seed shape is being studied, pod shape is being studied. What is not being studied? Leaf shape. Got it? Which is why the answer for this question becomes A. I hope now it's clear, Sania. And Gangotri, I'm so sorry, there was a doubt for other student. That's why I stopped. I hope that's clear now. Okay. Here, a mutation in a single gene producing multiple phenotypic expression is called what? A mutation in a single gene producing multiple phenotypic expression is called what? Multiple allelism, pleiotropy, incomplete dominance, or polygenic inheritance. Mutation in a single gene. You're most welcome, Sania. Okay, if I talk about one gene, if one gene has some issues, I say multiple characters is being affected. What is this condition? That is the question over here. If one gene is being mutated, multiple phenotypic expression is being affected. Phenotypic means multiple physical characters are being affected over here. One gene having effects on multiple character, what do you call this as? Gangotri says it is A, multiple allelism. No. Keep on guessing. No, it's not multiple allelism. Ullas is there. Hi Ullas. Ullas says the answer for this question is B, pleiotropy. Is it pleiotropy? So now we have A and B. What would be the answer? Listen, multiple allelism means you see that in usually ABO blood group, where I say that, suppose this is a gene that I have. Usually I have studied capital T for height and small t for small height. Two alleles for one character. But here you see in the case of ABO blood group, you have IA for A blood group, IB for B blood group, IO for O blood group. Three different alleles for one particular thing itself. That is multiple allelism. That is not the case over here. Sanya also says the answer for this question is going to be B. Gangotri says B, ma'am. Okay, let's log B then. This is B, pleiotropy. Okay, so Ullas, Gangotri, Sanya, all of you, I hope you have got the concept. Pleiotropy means one gene having multiple effects. If this gene has some mutation, obviously whatever it controls, it will be. For example, I am the person. Suppose I am controlling the foreign department of India, education. I am the education minister also, and basically I am the defense minister also. If suppose I die, what is going to happen? No. Basically, all of this is going to be affected out there. That is what I mean over here. One gene having multiple effects. Got it? That is pleiotropy. Done. So B is the answer. Is it clear to you? If yes, can you give me a quick thumbs up? here itself. Can you give me a quick thumbs up? Then I'll understand that you understood, and then we'll go ahead. Hi Sachin, good evening. Okay, someone is giving hearts and all. I hope you have understood things, guys. Okay, this question we just did it over there. Okay. Which of the following P-plan characters selected by Mendel is a recessive trait? Which of them is a recessive trait? Okay, Sachin understood. Sania, thank you for giving thumbs up. Chandra Kala. Hi. Guys, which of the characters studied by Mendel was a recessive trait? Chandrakala says the answer for this question is B. B is what? Green pod color. Recessive trait is being asked. You know, for every character that he studied, he had dominant and recessive trait. Which one was the recessive trait? Come on, guess. Inflated pod. In pod you have two things. You have inflated pod which looks like this. You have constricted pod which looks like this. Which was dominant? This was dominant. So this is correct. This is dominant. You have been asked about recessive character. This is not the one. Sachin also says it is B. Okay, Chandrakala says I am a 9 star. Oh my God. Early preparation, huh, macha? So sweet of you to be here. Okay, Sachin says B. Ullas says C is the answer. I'm coming to that. So what is B? Because Sachin is saying B. Chandrakala also says is B. So I have to check. Green pot color. Baba, when you go to the market, okay, for selecting green peas, when you go to the market, do you select the green ones or do you select the yellow ones? Do you select the green ones or the yellow ones? Actually, there is a yellow one also. Basically, it's a green one. Green is a dominant character and yellow is a recessive trait over here. So here, green is dominant, which is why this is also not the one, because you have been asked about recessive one, right? Sania says A. A is dominant, dear. Inflated is dominant. Okay, now here you see. Okay, Chandrakala says we select green only. Green is dominant over there. Now what about white flower? Listen, the pea plant over here have two type of flowers. One is going to be violet and the other one is going to be white in color. Which one is dominant? This one is going to be. Which one has darker color? I'll say that is easy for you to remember. This is dominant and this is going to be recessive. So here you have been asked which is a recessive character. Isn't white a recessive character? Yes. Isn't white a recessive character? Yes. Ullas gave me the answer. He said white is a recessive character. What about axillary flower position? In flower position also, the flower can be like this at the tip. This is known as terminal position. Or the flower can be coming here at the place where a branch comes off. This is known as axillary position. Which one is going to be dominant? How do I remember it? A comes before T in alphabetic order, which is why A is going to be dominant. A is going to be dominant. So this is also dominant. You have been just asked about recessive. So this one is going to be the recessive one, that is the white flower. Okay. Did you get it? Answer for this question is going to be what, macha? It's going to be C. Clear? Is it clear? Yup. Chandrakala says yup. What about others? Sania and my other dear children. Sachin, Ullas gave me correct answer. So yes. So C is the correct answer. Perfect. Okay, now XO, XY type of sex determinations are examples of what? XO, XY type of sex determination is an example of what? Male homogamity, male heterogamity, female homogamity, or female heterogamity. Any idea? Any idea? XO, X type of sex determination is an example of what? Gangotri says the answer for this question is going to be D. Female heterogamity. Want one more chance? You can take one more chance if at all you want. Message deleted. Ayyo. Don't think that, guys. You keep on giving me wrong answers. It's okay. I'll still anyway help you. Okay, Gangotri says it's B, male heterogamity. Ullas also says it is B. Perfect. Listen to me. You guys are absolutely right over here. XO type of sex determination is seen in the case of grasshopper, that is insects and all. So what exactly happens over here is that female will be XX, male will be XO. That means in them, when they form the gamete, one gamete will be having X chromosome, the other gamete will be having nothing. Okay, blank. Here the females will be having X chromosome, X chromosome. Baba, if at all you see the males and the male and the female is producing same type of gametes, both having X only. What about the male? Male over here produces two type of gametes, one carrying X, one carrying nothing. That is why you say heterogamety. Hetero means different type of gametes. Hetero means what? Different type of gametes are being formed over here. This is seen in the case of what? Insects. Okay, what about XY? XY type of determination is seen in us, human beings, and also Drosophila. Over here, females produce same type of chromosome. What about the males? Males are going to produce two different type of chromosome, half of them carrying X, half of them carrying Y. Again, which is why it is an example of male heterogamety. Okay, guys, can you tell me, Sani also gave me the answer as B. Perfect. Can you tell me, where do you see female heterogamety? Where do you see female heterogamety? Sachin also said B. Where do you see female heterogamety? Anyone have any guesses out there? Any idea? Birds. Ullas says bird is where you see female heterogamety. Exactly. In the case of birds, you have ZZZW. ZZ is basically seen in the case of males, where they produce same type of gametes out there. And in the case of females, they produce two different type of gametes, half of them carrying Z, half of them carrying W. This is the only thing that is given in your NCERT as an example of female heterogamety. W for women. You can remember like that. ZZZW. Perfect, Gangodri. And Sachin also birds. Perfect. Roasting wala. Oh my God. Ma'am, counseling confusion is there. Dear, you can put it. I'll definitely try to read it, but yeah. Cool? Sanya ZZZW. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So over here, the answer for this particular question is going to be B, and my dear children, you guys are correct. So, which is an example of a non-Mendelian disorder? Come on, try this one also. By the way, if no one told you, you guys are rocking out there, and I really, really appreciate and I'm really proud of you that after your school, you're coming here, or probably today, if you're an off day, still you're studying. Either way, okay? Medical aspirant, if he choose choice 4, should he pay penalty? As of now, medical aspirant, as in basically you're just participating in UG NEET and you're not looking out for KCET courses out there, and if after provisional round you're going with choice 4, that is exit the counseling process, you do not have to pay any penalty right now. Okay, Sachin says the answer for this question is going to be D. What is D? What is an example of non-Mendelian disorder is the question. Thalassemia, hemophilia, cystic fibrosis and Down syndrome is given. Okay, non-Mendelian. Non-Mendelian means this is not going to be a Mendelian disorder, it's going to be a chromosomal disorder. And Sachin, Baba, you are absolutely correct. Arey, why did you remove it? It's correct. Okay, it is going to be D only. It's Down syndrome. This is a chromosomal disorder. It's a chromosomal disorder. I hope you guys know the difference between chromosomal and Mendelian. Mendelian means, suppose one chromosome is there, one gene is there. If this gene is mutated, which is why you have a disease, you will call this as what? Mendelian disorder. Okay, chromosomal means you have this chromosome, you should ideally be having one more, but right now, you do not have it. There's a loss of a chromosome altogether. Or probably you should be just having 2, but now you're having one more. Loss or gain of a chromosome, that causes chromosomal disorder. Okay? This is basically specific to the genes we're talking about. It can be on the autosome, it can be on the sex chromosome. Either way. So, Ullas says 21st trisomy. Exactly. Down syndrome is 21st trisomy. Sachin also says the answer for this question is going to be D. Sanya dear, I hope you, Gangotri, everyone are on track. Right? So, the answer for this question is going to be D. Cool? Works? Clear, 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 clear. Yes, perfect. So, going ahead with the next question. Gynecomastia or enlarged breast tissue in male is a symptom of. Any idea? Gynecomastia is a symptom of what? Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, Credit-Charge syndrome, or Klinefelter syndrome. We did this question again, but still you can try. Ullas says the answer for this question is going to be D. What about others? Where do you see gynecomastia? Development of breast. So roasting voila, sorry for disturbance, it's okay. I got engineering seat, now I'm willing to participate only for medical course. You have got an engineering seat, you're looking for a medical course, you have already added medical seats, yes. In that particular case, no, you do not have any penalty, you can move out of engineering counseling process. Okay, you will not have any penalty. Okay, so Ullas says D is the answer, Gangotri says D is the answer, so the answer is actually D. It's Klinefelter syndrome, and in the starting part of this particular chapter I started off with explaining this particular thing. So my dear children, in Klinefelter syndrome they have overall masculine body. Okay, they should have had basically X and Y chromosome. Now here you have an extra X chromosome, which is why you have gynecomastia, that is development of breast and things like that. Okay, so Sani also says D, Sachin also says D, Gangotri says additional X chromosome. Yes, exactly, which is why the answer for this question is going to be D. Perfect. Come on, solve this also. In a pedigree chart, the affected male is symbolized by. In a pedigree chart, the affected male is symbolized by this, or this. Roasting Wala says D is the answer for the other one. I hope the medical aspirants, all of them are getting like the Josh of it, I think. In a pedigree chart, the affected male is symbolized by this, or this. Ullas says A is the answer. If at all you want to say a male is being affected, this is a normal male. If you color it up, it becomes affected male. Okay, so Sanya says A is the answer. Roasting Wala, you're most welcome, dear. Sachin says D is the answer. D, ya, macha. D means round. Okay, round means female. Okay, when the round is being affected, we say female is being affected. The question is if the affected male. So the answer is going to be this one. Okay, I don't know these concepts. That is why I told you here. I'm not asking you because I want you guys to see the one shot. It's because it's really made with a lot of efforts. I made sure that I make you understand the concepts. Okay, each and everything you can find it in this one shots are there. Watch it. For example, I will open principles of inheritance. Oh my god, I look so big. Okay, so now if I see any concept, is going to be there. So for example, chromosomal theory of inheritance. Post that we will be solving some questions also. So that is how after every concept there is explanation, there is blah 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 things. So make sure you go watch it. It is definitely going to help you out. Okay, ma'am, some numericals are not there in this thing. Where do I find numericals over here? Let me check. Is there? Okay. Only one small numerical question is there. I can make you solve that if you want. Let's go. Let's solve this one. Let's solve this one. How many types of gametes will be formed by a parent with genotype this? How many types of gametes are going to be formed by a parent with genotype capital A small a, capital B small b, capital C small c? Guys, this could be the last question because it's actually getting a little late over here and it's a very isolated place, which is why I might have to move out. Okay, Ullas says C is the answer. Gangotri says C is the answer. C is what? 8. How is C the answer? C cannot be the answer. If I say that, it will be wrong. Listen to me. Whenever you are given this question, this type of questions, and you have to find the number of types of gametes, use this formula, 2 raised to the power n. N stands for number of heterozygotes. Heterozygotes means basically they are not going to be the same. So when I say capital A small a, it's heterozygous condition. Both of them are different. Capital B small b, both of them are different. Capital C small c, both of them are different. So in total, how many heterozygotes do I have? 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 of them. So I'll replace n with 3. 2 raised to the power 3 is equals to what? 2 into 2 into 2, it is going to be 8. The answer for this question is going to be 8. You are going to get 8 type of gametes out there. Okay, works. So the answer for this question is going to be C. And my dear Sanya and my dear Gangotri and Ullas and everyone were correct out there. Pavan, it's totally fine. So dear children, as I said, I have to move out right now. So I believe at least until what we have covered, you have understood everything. If you are someone who have any doubts out there regarding the concept, put it down in the comment section. And when is your midterm starting, by the way? When is your midterms starting? And I hope all of you have hit on the subscribe button. Also, I'll show you one more very important thing that I wanted to show. So we have actually created a thing for you guys. Under each of our videos, you will be seeing this. Okay, that is join the free ACE KCET series and all. If you click on this link, you will get something like this. You can go ahead and log in. Okay, it's for 0 rupees that you can buy. You do not have to be worried about anything. Just continue up there. When you continue up over here, you will see, suppose ACE KCET biology. Under biology, whatever content is there, okay, it's all put over here. Suppose this class was taken in our YouTube channel. Class slides is there. If you click on the class slide, what is going to happen? The notes will be coming up over here. The notes are going to come up over here. So this is something that can be helpful for you for the one shot also. Everything would be there in this particular thing itself. Similarly, you can get questions also. So in some places, if you go back to home, I will be able to see some questions. So for example, my test. If I click on my test, I have some missed test over here. If I go with missed test, I have it for some other subjects. For example, matrices and evolution is my subject. So here you have some questions. Like that, you can go check it out if at all you wish. Physics also is there. So it is going to be really good. Yeah? So that's all. That is known as AIO page. Go check it out. So thank you so much for being there, everyone. Sanya, Gangotri, Pavan, Ullas, Sachin, and everyone out there. And ma'am, make a video on students who did not get any seat in round 1. Medical seat? Okay, I will just check through it. Okay. Pavan, thank you so much, ma'am. Please do take care of yourself. Sleep well. Bye-bye. Waiting for your next class. Waiting for you guys to be there in my next class. Thank you so much. Lots of love. Please take care of yourself. You're going to get this PDF also. Join our WhatsApp channel for all such videos. Okay? Bye-bye. Thank you. Have a good day. Good sleep.